Hey everyone, it's me GamerTurk, and today I'll start with my first video of the character analysis series for Genshin Impact, starting with Barbara, the one character that you'll want on your team more than anyone else, the ultimate healer of Genshin Impact, and even a reviver if you're lucky enough, that is. The best part is, until version 1.1 update is issued, you can get Barbara for free in Barbara's Shining debut campaign if you reach Adventure Rank 20. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more in-depth Genshin Impact coverage, as I'll do plenty more in-depth character reviews like this one in the near future, among other Genshin Impact related content. But jumping straight into the character showcase, Barbara is a Catalyst user with Hydro as her vision. If you're new on my channel or new to Genshin Impact, that's just a fancy way of saying she's a water mage. So as a Catalyst user, her basic attacks do Hydro damage by default rather than non-elemental physical, which already makes her a great choice against anything that has a fire shield or fire element. But Barbara is not someone you'll regularly have on your team for her offensive capabilities, but rather because of her elemental skill and elemental burst abilities, both acting as healing moves, saving you the trouble of constantly going into your menu to use healing items. But let's start from the beginning. As mentioned, as a Catalyst user, her basic attacks directly deal elemental damage in the first place, so she is a good character that fulfills the requirements where you'll need a Hydro character throughout the game. Her normal attack is a 4-hit Hydro combo, her charged attack is also a Hydro damage, and again, the benefit of being a Catalyst user, her plunging attack, which is what happens when you attack when mid-air up high enough, she plunges down as a massive Hydro orb and deals Hydro area damage rather than physical, making it even easier to straight go into elemental combos by instantly inflicting every enemy with Hydro with a simple opener. But now, we get to the good part, the healing abilities. The most important thing you need to keep in mind to start with is that the healing ability scales based on Barbara's max HP. The first idea most people would have with such a skill is that it would be some sort of a lifesteal-like ability that scales based on attack power, which is not the case here. Barbara's offensive capability is completely irrelevant for the healing she achieves in any way, but rather is a fixed percentage of her HP. So what you would want to do is to spec her artifacts to boost her HP as much as possible. To be even more specific, the Maiden Beloved set is absolutely perfect for Barbara, with the 2-piece bonus providing a 15% boost to healing, and 4-piece set boosting healing received by 20% for the entire party the moment elemental skill or burst is used, which synergizes with what comes next perfectly. Starting with the elemental skill, let the show begin. The ability instantly surrounds Barbara with a musical water circle, which grants a whole lot of healing benefits. First off, the skill lasts 15 seconds and the cooldown is 32 seconds, so if you're in a critical condition, you gotta make those 15 seconds count. Otherwise, the cooldown is not too restrictive during actual gameplay, and you can easily use it again quickly enough by just staying safe a bit. Now, during these 15 seconds, unless you're at a type disadvantage, generally speaking, you would want to keep using Barbara, as the aura allows Barbara's basic attacks to heal your entire party or nearby allies in co-op, so does the charged attack. However, if you're at a type disadvantage, you have two options. First one is simply not use this ability at all, because every couple of seconds, it applies wet status on your character and every enemy that comes close to you. You can turn this into your advantage if the type situation allows it, like bringing an Electro or Cryo character with you and just comboing that with the afflicted wet status on the enemy. But you gotta remember, your enemies can take advantage of this too. For example, if you're going up against the Cryo Regisvine, chances are you should definitely not use this ability until you stagger the boss. Otherwise, with you constantly getting afflicted with wet, it will constantly freeze you with every single attack it has. That is one thing you need to keep in mind to decide whether you'll keep Barbara or switch her in combat after using the ability. The second thing that factors into this decision is that the aura has a self-healing ability on its own, meaning that it will heal you and only you at certain intervals, again every couple seconds. I generally use this in open world when I casually want to heal as I walk or run around. I simply cast the ability and instantly switch over to another character that requires passive healing at that moment. During combat, if a party member needs desperate healing, you're probably better off not taking the risk of switching to them and just keep basic attacking with Barbara to keep casting heal that way for your party members. Compared to the elemental skill, Barbara's burst ability is a lot more simple and can be used as a panic super, as one would call back in Destiny. Shining Miracle is an instantly effective healing ability rather than the overtime effect of Let the Show Begin. So the moment you use Shining Miracle, Barbara and the entire party receives an instantaneous HP regen, and that's pretty much it. Again, the effect is largely tied to Barbara's max HP stat, so once again I do remind you that you should spec her accordingly for maximum benefit. You can of course strengthen the effects of these talents even further by upgrading them along with limit breaking your characters, which is completely a free to play thing to do. Barbara's first passive talent that unlocks with the first ascension at level 20 is Glorious Season, which again synergizes well with my secondary use of her elemental ability. When you have the healing aura around you, doesn't have to be Barbara who's in the aura, they get a 12% reduction of stamina consumption, which means you can run or fly or swim for slightly longer. It may not seem like much, but we probably all know at this point that we'll take whatever we can get to be able to keep running for longer periods of time in this game. The second passive talent that unlocks at the 4th ascension at level 60 is Encore, which extends the 15 seconds duration of the healing aura by 1 second for every elemental orb collected for up to 5 seconds of extension, bringing the aura length to 20 seconds total. And her inherent passive ability is that when cooking healing foods, you get a 12% chance to get double the product, which is not a great benefit considering Barbara can single-handedly take care of massive healing requirements, but if you don't like running a healer, to which I'd say, are you crazy? This is probably a decent small bonus for you to stock up on those healing items instead. Moving over to her constellations, which is the, well, I really want to say pay to win portion of the power curve, but they kinda are unless you are really lucky as a free-to-play player. It's definitely not a realistic goal to have as a free-to-play player. I myself was incredibly lucky with Barbara that after getting her free copy for reaching Adventure Rank 20, I got 3 dupes of her in a couple multiples. Chances are your luck won't even be as good as mine was, and sadly, Barbara has a massive benefit at the end of this path that will probably make her one of the most sought out abilities in the entire game, but let's go one by one. First dupe unlocks Gleeful Songs, which is a basic energy regen for your elemental burst every 10 seconds. Second dupe grants you Vitality Burst, decreasing the cooldown of Let the Show Begin from 32 seconds to 27.2 seconds. If you combine this with the 4th Ascension passive talent, you can extend your aura to 20 seconds and only have to wait 7.2 seconds to have it back up and ready to use. And while affected by the aura, you get a 15% hydro damage boost, which again is quite the beneficial constellation that really synergizes well with Barbara's abilities. Third dupe, Star of Tomorrow, provides a small bump of power for the elemental burst ability, increasing its potency by 3 levels, allowing it to heal a bit more. Fourth dupe gets you Attentiveness Be My Power, a bonus energy recharge for every enemy hit with your charged attack. Not a particularly great benefit for me personally because I never use charged attacks for whatever reason. Combos just feel more satisfying in this game. Fifth dupe is not very impressive once again. The Purest Companionship increases your elemental skill, the Water Aura, by 3 levels, increasing its healing potency once again slightly. But the final constellation is the ultimate prize that turns Barbara from a healer to an outright reviver. Dedicating everything to you is quite the support talent that heals a fallen ally, provided it is not Barbara who died of course, and regens their entire HP back to max, no questions asked. The only downside is that it can occur every 15 minutes, but that's more than fair really, it's an instant revive ability after all. But that is Barbara. In my opinion, she's one of those characters that you'll ultimately always keep around, much more passionately than carrying Noelle around as a pickaxe for mines, for example. She's a great Hydro character thanks to using a Catalyst and can robustly heal your entire party, and if you're just lucky enough, can even revive a fallen ally. If you haven't gotten her yet, and by the time you're watching this, version 1.1 hasn't been deployed yet either, do rush your way to Adventure Rank 20 to get your free copy of her. She's an indispensable party member that will support you all the way. But if you got her, do let me know what you think about her. Is she a staple member of your party, or would you rather venture into the wild without a safety net, not bringing a healer with you? Of course, if you have specific questions about her, do ask them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Please do leave a like if you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more Genshin Impact content in the future, consider becoming a channel member or a patron to support what I do here, and of course, thank you very much to all my channel members and patrons. I'll see you all next time. Until then, stay cool, travelers.